So, welcome to my first video series on the channel called Quickstrike Reviews, where I review a game prior to surpassing 15 hours of playtime. The objective of this series is to convey the early feel I get of a game. In my opinion, most games that struggle to grip the audience in the first 15 hours aren't worth playing. With that being said, this past week, an upcoming release called Wildgate had its beta playtest. Wildgate markets itself as a PvP space shooter with procedural map generation. From my experience, I would describe it as a hybrid between the extraction and hero shooter genres. You begin a game with a team of four. This can be assembled by you and your friends, or you can queue in any pre-sized group and fill with randoms. Prior to entering a match, you'll select your loadout, which consists of your character, weapons, equipment, and chips. All of these include unlockables through various leveling trees available in the game. Once in the match, you will spawn into a randomly generated map full of PvE objectives, resources, and notably four other enemy ships with up to 20 total players. The basic objective is simple. Find the artifact and escape through the Wild Gate, which opens after a set amount of time, traceable by the percentage bar in the top right of the screen. The only other condition is to eliminate all other ships on the map. Where Wildgate really shines is the freedom it allows you to go about accomplishing these objectives your own way. Each PvE objective on the map is labeled with various tags when scanned. Included in these tags is difficulty of the objective as well as what type of loot to expect on completion. The loot you receive, which is random within the expected tag, is crucial to how you will approach trying to win the game. Included in the loot pool are ship weapons, ship upgrades, which are installed at hard points located throughout the ship, gadgets, personal weapons, and even map-specific objective items. First, ship weapons vary wildly and are marked with a color that signals rarity. Some weapons are suitable for a long-range fighting style, like the sniper cannon or bomb cannon, while others are designed for a more in-your-face play style, such as the plasma beam, which will melt ships at close range. How you utilize these weapons is completely up to you, as each ship is fitted with a unique layout of gun emplacements to customize as you see fit. Second, ship upgrades. These are placed in hard points located on the interior of the ship. Upgrades can include items such as ammo regen, shield boosters, or other items that grant your ship the ability to withstand map-specific hazards and increase the mobility of the ship. Certain items like Smuggler's Turn were of particular usage during my playthroughs, as they allowed your ship to rotate left or right significantly quicker than other ships. Others, like the Storm Barrier, allow you to enter areas that otherwise would be off limits for your ship. These areas can include important objectives and even the artifact in some situations. Beyond ship weapons and ship upgrades, the other items you can attain from PvE objectives include gadgets, personal weapons, and map specific objective items. While the ship weapons and ship upgrades are the most important items you will get from these objectives, these other items can also be helpful in your playthrough. Gadgets include things such as bomb traps, which can be placed on your ship or enemy ships when boarding. Gadgets can also include turbines, which can help you fly over to the other ship faster, and you can even attach these turbines to other ships to make them spin out of control while they're fighting you. Personal weapons in my playthrough were limited to one specific personal weapon, which I actually found less useful than the loadout weapons. So I wouldn't really consider personal weapons a positive or something you should be looking for when you're going into PvE objectives. Map specific objective items are a lot more interesting. As I mentioned earlier, maps are randomly generated. At the beginning of a match, you will see which specific map conditions have been generated for this particular match. One of those is the vault. The vault can only be opened with a map specific objective item found in PvE objectives known as, suitably, the vault key. During my playtime over the last week, me and my team were able to open the vault two separate times. Both times we received the same item, known as the entropy cannon. I'm not going to describe the entropy cannon any further in this video, as I don't want to spoil anything for playthroughs on release date, but needless to say, it's worth getting. I'm not sure if the vault can spawn any other items right now, if that was the only item available during the playtest, but it's worth getting regardless. As you move from PvE objective to PvE objective, trying to bolster your ship and improve your chances of winning, you will come across different asteroids floating around you that look like ice and look like red little circle things. You can see one in the top left of the gameplay that's playing right now. The red is fuel. The ice is, well, ice. Both of these items are important for your ship as the fuel gives you a chance to boost and move quicker during fights, and the ice is what you use to heal at the generator located in the center of most ships. You will want to collect both of these resources throughout the game. Me and my team found it most useful to just collect them as we're passing them from PvE to PvE objective. Notably, once you're at the asteroid or at objectives collecting loot at the end of a PvE encounter, you do not have to fly all the way back to your ship. This was, in my opinion, great game design as it allowed you to teleport immediately back to your ship by holding the C key. And that's the basic gameplay loop. You're going to go to PvE objectives, bolster your ship, and then when the artifact is revealed, or if you happen to run across it during your playthrough prior to its reveal when the Wildgate opens, you can gather it, or you can go fight other ships. The complexities of the game aren't in the gameplay loop, but in rather how you approach the fights and your strategy with getting the artifact and getting it out of the map. Notably, before you approach a fight, there's several different things you can do on the ship, which I haven't discussed yet. These include the pilot. That's most of the gameplay you've seen on the screen. You're able to move up, down, left, right, and use certain items to make those maneuvers quicker. Notably, there's no third person flying, and your viewpoint's a little limited, which makes it difficult at times, as well as the movement is interesting. For example, if you move up using the space bar, it holds how far you've moved up and continues to move up at that rate until you use control to lower the ship. It feels a little goofy at first, but it's relatively easy to get used to. The second thing you can do on a ship, which is important throughout the entire game, not just when you're approaching fights, is probing. When you're on the probe, you can navigate throughout the map. You're on this little, I mean, it's a probe. It's like this little miniature thing that's kind of hard to see. And you can maneuver around and tag objectives, tag other ships, look for fuel and ice that is available for your team. That's super crucial throughout the entire game, but not particularly relevant right at the start of a fight. Third is ship gunning. The ship points you can also see on the gameplay are located around the ship. This is where you place the guns you've gotten from PvE objectives. Relatively straightforward. You shoot the guns at the other ship. You can target different points on the ship, such as their gunners or their pilot, and kill them directly with the guns. But your main objective is to break through the shield and do damage to the ship's hull. The damage to the ship's hull is located on the health bar under the ship. You can see us shooting at them now. When that reaches zero, they're dead. The ship explodes. The pilot needs to move the ship out of the ship's explosion zone or it will damage your ship. Once you've destroyed an enemy ship, you can board, take their ship core, which increases your own ship health, and you can even take their guns, fuel, ammo, or anything else you might need. The third thing you can do during a fight is, well, I'm just going to let this clip play for a second, and then I'll be back. There, I'm dead.
Danger. Reactor overload.
What you just saw there was ship boarding, the third thing you can do during a ship-on-ship battle. Obviously, that was defensive boarding. Someone jumped on and shot me while I was piloting. You had to turn around and fight them. You can wreak havoc boarding other ships. That includes overloading their generator, which you just saw me fixing now on the screen. You can steal guns or steal hard points from the other ship and get back to your ship and basically leave the other team in a worse position than they were before you got over there. Obviously, there's a respawn timer at the end of each death. Killing a gunner, for example, leaves that gun unoccupied for 12 seconds. Killing a pilot leaves the ship unpiloted for 12 seconds, and vice versa. As much as I enjoyed the boarding aspect of the game and how that could change ship fights from being dramatically out of your favor to in your favor, there's also some balancing issues that I encountered while experiencing this. First is the four-armed guy you just saw smashing the windshield. He has a melee attack that is going to one-hit kill you if you're on your ship, and he has a lot of boarding specific abilities. It seems like the meta might very quickly revolve around him. It's a little annoying having to deal with him getting on your ship. I definitely think he's a good character as far as design and what his purpose is, but it's a little overtuned at this point. Every time one of those four-armed menaces would get on our ship, things would turn to shit quickly. There are ship-specific items that you can find in PvE objectives that help with shipboarding, including the security device. The security device will lock doors and let you know when someone boards your ship with like a siren sounding thing while you're flying or while you're on the gun. which can be incredibly helpful when countering boarding teams. As far as gameplay goes, that's about it. The general cycle is relatively straightforward. You just go to PvE objectives, upgrade your ship, whether that's guns, items, personal items, whatever it is, and you go either grab the artifact or fight. Notably, out of the week I played and the 10 or so games that I won, we won every single game by destroying the other ships. It seems right now that the artifact is almost a secondary objective, which I hope to see be addressed at some point before the game comes out, as it's a little too risky to grab the artifact. It's a little too hard. It makes more sense to fight, wait for somebody else to grab it and kill them when they come out, or sit by the gate, wait for them to get close to the gate. My only other major criticism is the PvE objectives, even though there is variety in what you do, felt a little repetitive over time. For example, sometimes you'll have to go in and repair things, or you'll have to defeat wave after wave of enemy, or target a certain boss, or something like that. Even though there is some variety within those objectives, it feels very quickly like you're doing the same things over and over again. I would say after, I don't know, 5, 6 hours of gameplay, I felt like I'd already seen everything there is to do. That needs a little work. If you want to keep people around for a long period of time, especially after release, we're going to need a little more variety there, whether that comes with post-release patches. I don't know. It's got to change. So now we're at the point where I recommend whether I think you should get this game or not on release. So the game comes out on July 22nd. Throughout the course of this past week in this playtest, I played about 11 hours. So I'm well under the 15-hour mark required for this review. And in short, yes, I think the game's going to be really fun. Now, there is a caveat there. If you plan to play completely by yourself, no. The answer is no. The solo queue experience right now is miserable. This game takes a lot of teamwork to be able to basically win or make any real progression. And playing by yourself with three randoms, even with communication, can be really, really difficult and just an unfun experience. However, if you have at least two friends, so if you can put together at least a team of three that would be willing to play this game with you, 100 times yes. This was a ton of fun with a group of people, especially as we got more experience playing together and you kind of learn what each other does and you kind of work off of your strengths. I don't know. It can be really fun. The communication aspect of the game with a team is awesome. I think out of 10 right now, I'd probably give this game like a 7.5 with a really easy avenue up to like an 8.5 if the correct changes are made between the playtest and the time of release. In short, I think this game's going to see some relative success early. I think it can pretty comfortably sit between 15 and 25,000 players on release, and depending on how the updates go post release, and if the development team can stay in touch with the audience and the people that are playing the game, this game could last a long time. It reminds me a lot of kind of Sea of Thieves as far as being a little bare bones at the beginning, but has really good, really good platform to work off of. So if you've stuck around to this point, thanks for watching my first video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe or comment. And if you have any criticisms or any feedback you want to leave, I'd love to hear it. Thanks again, and stay tuned because with the busy summer release schedule, there will be a lot of these videos coming up. Those guys fucked the entire game.